What's up, everybody? It's your Corey. Working, sorry, get a little tongue tied trying to get my headphones fixed. It's your boy Corey, aka GQ Sync, here about another reaction video for Very Comics. And basically, the other day I did top DC hand-to-hand combat martial arts fighters. The other day, today I'm doing Marvel, which is my favorite. Always been a die-hard Marvel fan. Anyway, I won't bore you guys anymore. Try to talk too long. Let's go ahead and hop into the video. I kind of like the song a little bit.
Welcome to
Sure,
Variant, where we
Robert.
love comics more than I can't wait to see the Punisher series on Netflix. I'm your host, Eris Quinones. A few
Punisher
weeks
is
back,
very
we gave you our
brutal.
list of the 10 best fighters in
Very
the DC
brutal.
universe. And at the beginning of that episode, I said we would eventually do the 10 best fighters in the Marvel universe as well. Well, today is that day, so
get it,
sit
homie.
back and enjoy.
I'm excited. I'm kind of excited.
Before I get started, I do want to make it clear that this list is purely based on fighting skills, not how strong or powerful a character is, just like when we did the DC version of this list. So while characters like the Hulk and Sentry are incredibly powerful, that doesn't mean they're some of the most skilled fighters in hand-to-hand combat. It just means they can heavily rely on their raw power in battle, while other characters don't have that perk. So with
Yeah,
that in
they
mind,
gotta
let's kick off the
work
list
harder,
with number
very
10.
harder.
Leading off at number 10 is the deadly
Elektra.
Scarlet Assassin, Elektra. When her father was
agree, she
killed
should
when
be
she
on
was
this list.
19, she decided to leave New York and travel the world and study martial arts in China, where she would be trained by Daredevil's early teacher, Stick. Eventually, she began to gravitate toward the dark side and join the Hand, becoming a deadly ninja assassin. After some time, however, she
Just
left
like
the
the
Hand and
Defender
became an
series
assassin
on
for hire.
Netflix. I
She
saw
even
that
became the Kingpin's #1
lost
assassin,
her
which
memory.
says a whole lot. Within the Marvel Universe, she's widely considered one of the greatest assassins in the entire world. Besides being extremely proficient in hand-to-hand
Yeah, I love
combat,
that fight
she's
scene.
an expert with all weapons associated with assassins, like katanas, ninja stars, throwing blades, and her weapon of choice, Sais. Raphael would be proud.
Total reference. I like that.
Next up at number 9 is the daughter of Thanos,
Gamora.
Gamora. Simply put, Gamora was trained at a young age by one of the most powerful beings in the Marvel Universe, the Mad Titan Thanos. He trained her to be a master martial artist and had her physically augmented to be the ultimate warrior,
Sorry,
physically
there you
equal
go.
to freaking Adam Warlock. Gamora is
get much
considered to be
sleep
one of the
last
best
night.
martial artists in the Marvel
Stayed up
Universe
too late.
and has mastered over 83% of the world's known armed and unarmed fighting styles from various cultures. On top of that, her physical augmentation gives her enhanced speed, reflexes, agility, senses, durability, and a healing factor. She also has super strength comparable to that of Iron Man. What I'm saying is, there's a reason why she's called the most dangerous woman in the universe.
Yeah, good stuff.
Number 8 is the man
Daredevil.
without fear, Daredevil. Despite being
Yeah.
blind, Daredevil is a master martial artist and easily one of Marvel's greatest fighters, mostly due to his other senses performing at superhuman levels, which gives him a huge advantage in combat. For instance, he can hear or smell someone who's trying to sneak up on him long before they're anywhere near him. His enhanced senses also allow him to predict what moves his opponent is going to make by detecting and listening to the movements in the freaking air. Combine that with
That
his
is
radar
insane.
sense and you
That
have one
is
incredible
insane.
fighter. Daredevil keeps himself at the peak of human condition and is an expert acrobat. It's even been said that his equilibrium is on par with that of Spider-Man's. Overall, his
Given
acute
his
senses combined
heightened
with his
senses,
mastery
of
of multiple
course.
fighting skills like boxing, ninjutsu, jujitsu, and Krav Maga to name a few, and his skilled use of his Screma sticks make him a force to be reckoned with. Not to mention he's easily able to dodge bullets and has fought some of Marvel's other best fighters like Wolverine and Black Panther to a standstill. In short, I'd say Daredevil is a no-brainer to be on this list.
Be Daredevil.
Speaking of Black Panther,
Black
he
Panther.
lands at number 7. Black
Wakanda
Panther
forever.
is essentially Tony Stark's brain in Captain America's body, which is the perfect combination
Yeah,
of
he is
genius
until
and
then.
elite soldier.
He has multiple
Not really
adopted
someone you want to
brains,
piss
which is
off.
very hard to
T'Challa
get.
ingested a magical heart-shaped herb that enhanced his abilities to a low-level superhuman. I say low-level because he's not like the Hulk who can jump over freaking
love
buildings.
the fight
But in addition to being superhuman, Black Panther is an expert in almost all forms of unarmed combat, including mastery of all the secret forms of martial arts from Wakanda. But what really gives him an edge and makes him such a fierce fighter is that he's one of the smartest minds in Marvel and has the ability to call on the knowledge, strength, and experience from every previous Black Panther, which typically allows him to stay several steps ahead of his opponent. His amazing tactical prowess has enabled him to outmaneuver characters such as Reed Richards, Tony Stark, and Doctor Doom. That's just all kinds of nuts. So mix his genius level intellect and his master fighting skills with the fact that he's also a weapons master and expert marksman, and
That's
it's
a nice
game
picture.
over
I
for
like
his
that.
enemies.
I should try that.
At number 6 is Wolverine. If all you know about Wolverine is from the X-Men movies, then you probably just think Wolverine is a brawler who heavily relies on his healing factor. But what the movies rarely show is that Wolverine is highly trained in numerous forms of combat, and I mean highly. Logan/Wolverine has learned pretty much every fighting style on Earth. As an example, he's a master of 28 forms of Kung Fu alone. On top of that, he has a strong understanding of key pressure points located on not only the human body, but also on several alien and even supernatural bodies as well. He's so skilled in hand-to-hand combat, in fact, that he's beat Iron Fist and Shang-Chi. If you don't already know, you'll see why that's impressive shortly. Wolverine is also a master swordsman who has been described as having flawless technique by freaking Silver Samurai. So mix all of that with having one of the best healing factors in comics and his nearly indestructible claws and skeleton, and it's easy to see why he's one of Marvel's most formidable fighters. At number 5 is a member of the Inhumans royal family, Karnak. In a nutshell, this guy is a living weapon, and unlike the rest of the Inhumans, Karnak wasn't subject to the Terrigen Mist to give him superhuman abilities. Instead, he studied in the Tower of Wisdom and became a master martial artist and developed insane mental discipline. In addition to knowing countless forms of martial arts like pretty much everyone else on this list, his ability to sense the point of weakness in any object, person, or idea really sets him apart. He essentially can find the fault in anything, allowing him to exploit and take down people he theoretically shouldn't be able to beat. Any true Marvel fan knows that Taskmaster would have to be top 5 on this list, and he is indeed at number 4. Some would probably argue that he should be even higher on this list, but I'll explain in a second why he's at 4 and not somewhere in the top 3. As for his skill set, Taskmaster possesses photographic reflexes. This means that he could flawlessly mimic any fighting style he's ever seen. So in pure hand-to-hand combat, he's almost unstoppable because, well, he can copy any and all fighting styles. With that said, some of you may be thinking, with that ability, shouldn't he be at number 1? But no, I don't think so, guys. Because while he can copy the moves of any fighter he sees, it doesn't mean he's able to pull those moves off with the same level of power. For example, he may be able to throw a punch exactly like Captain America, but he won't have Captain America's super strength, as he can only mimic technique and not the superhuman abilities of his opponents. Nevertheless, Taskmaster is a beast of a fighter and has trained supervillains and heroes. In fact, he became the US government's combat instructor in order to clear his record. Dude is no joke. Landing pretty at number 3 is good old Captain America. Due to the Super Soldier program, Captain America was mentally and physically enhanced to be the perfect soldier. And since World War II, he has mastered most forms of hand-to-hand combat and martial arts. Even though he has learned a crap ton of fighting styles over his long life, he's developed his own personal fighting style that blends judo, karate, boxing, jiu-jitsu, and acrobatics. Yeah, that's right, acrobatics. His acrobatic skills even rival Daredevil's. Some fans say Cap is even a better acrobat than the Man Without Fear. On top of all that, Captain America is a super soldier, so he has enhanced speed, strength, reflexes, agility, durability, and so on. So imagine a guy with all those enhancements and then throw in the fact that this same guy is a master in most forms of martial arts and an excellent strategist due to years of military training. Yeah, Captain America is a beast. Coming in at runner-up is Iron Fist. Iron Fist is so skilled, he's beaten almost every person on this list at one point or another. He has been trained to be a living weapon, which makes him known as one of the best martial artists in the world. On top of being incredibly skilled in almost all forms of martial arts and a master in the mystical Kunlun martial arts, Iron Fist has access and the experience and skills of all the Iron Fists that came before him, which is all kinds of nuts. As Iron Fist, he has pretty much enhanced everything like reflexes, durability, chi healing, strength, speed, stamina, etc. Of course, most notably, he has the Iron Chi powered fist, which allows him to punch through almost anything, like, you know, a helicopter. But even without his superhuman abilities, Iron Fist is one of the greatest fighters to have ever walked the earth. He takes martial arts to a whole new level. For instance, his thought process is far ahead of his opponents 9 times out of 10, which makes it nearly impossible to surprise or outthink him during a fight. I guess the fact that there's only one person above him on this list tells you everything you need to know. At number 1 is Shang-Chi. He's not an A or B list character like pretty much every other character on this list, but that doesn't take away how skilled this guy is when it comes to martial arts. He doesn't have any superpowers, but he's so skilled in hand-to-hand combat that his fighting skill alone is considered a superpower. Because of his great martial arts skill, he has been able to defeat countless superhuman opponents. And like Iron Fist, Shang can focus his chi into energy. He also has complete control over his nervous system, which allows him to deaden his body
The
to
hand
physical
signs
pain.
kind of remind me
Yeah,
of Naruto.
that's crazy. The guy can even slow down his freaking bleeding because of this. In short, he's not just a master, but a grandmaster in all
Grandmaster,
forms of
oh yeah.
Chinese martial arts, hence him being called the master of Kung Fu. Now,
Yeah.
even though Iron Fist is technically more powerful than him, Shang-Chi is regarded to be the better hand-to-hand fighter.
Yeah.
And since that's what this list is about, Shang-Chi had to be sitting pretty at number 1. As far as honorable mentions go, you have Deadpool, Stick, Black Widow,
Yeah, Black
Hawkeye,
Widow, Hawkeye,
Moon Knight, and Silver Sable.
Silver
So let us know what your list would be in the comment section.
I
And head over
believe
to
it's a Blade.
variantcomics.com
Blade's
to
one of
join
the
in the
best martial arts,
conversation
too.
about today's episode.
Good video. I believe he kind of left out Blade. Like I said earlier, Blade is definitely one of the best martial arts out there too. And I really enjoyed it. Huge Marvel fan. I kind of like that, especially Shang-Chi. I love to see him in a show or better yet a movie. They should definitely find a Bruce Lee lookalike. That's what he definitely like. He's modeled after Bruce Lee. Anyway, pretty dope video. There's another more videos to come. Once again, drop your boy, like, comment, subscribe. Have a nice day. Peace.